I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wasn't really sure of myself, of what I liked, what I disliked. And around the same time, I was getting lowest grades I'd ever gotten in school. I remember it so clearly. In my secondary school, we have these periodical team days where your parents can come and see you and talk to you, give you stuff that you need, all of that. And I really prepared how I was going to be so dramatic and talk about how everything in this school is just wrong for me and I need to leave. I don't even know how to do it, like, I was very, I don't know, just give my own reasons to take me out and take me back home. But instead of doing this, he gave me a silly little and a significant piece of advice. But that piece of advice changed my perspective on how I view things, how I view everything. And that piece of advice is the basis of my TED Talk today. So, what is it? Well, she simply reminded me that journey is mine. No one's going to come and see all your achievements of theirs, and no one's going to come and solve all your problems for you. So instead of looking at everything outside you as the potential cause of your issues, look within. I'm not going to go in detail of how this realization changed my life in different ways. In my academics, I stopped viewing things as a comparison. I stopped looking at someone and say, there's a matter that be, they're passing me, or there's not as smart as me, and that's why I'm passing them. It was Theodore Roosevelt that said that comparison is the thief of joy. So instead of looking at it in that way, I began to look at it and thought with myself, trying to enhance the 1% better every single day. The results were almost instantaneous in the sense that I began to see it as like a challenge, a fun challenge actually, or just trying to become better without looking at anywhere else. Another thing that this helped me realize is that I began to prioritize what I wanted or what other people perceived of me. When it was time for my search and individual to run for student government, I was like prefects, people expected me to run for something where I wouldn't really have to tell as much because that was my personalized time. I was a bit reserved. I didn't really like talking to other people. I wasn't social. So they expected me to run for something where I could just keep to myself. Well, I knew what I wanted. I love music, and I love this easy music. And I wanted to share this passion of mine with my people. So I ran for social prefect, and I got it. And it helped me so much in expressing myself. And it was one of the best decisions I had ever made. Similarly, when I ran for a few modern United Nations conferences, the emphasis for those conferences was, for me at least, to interact with others because I knew that I was a bit not social enough or very reserved and all that. And I saw it as a chance to really come out of that circle, really force myself into talking to other people. And it worked. It worked because I was able to expand my social circle, I was able to become more friendly, less reserved, and a lot in a long ways. Henry Ford once said that whether you think you can do something or whether you think you can't, you're right. In the context of this event theme, this realization for me was like the philosophy of my wings. The NSCC challenges are stepping stones on my success and my growth, until I quite frankly was surprised by the results of my efforts. I couldn't have achieved this blossoming of my wings without my roots. My support system is the form of my family and friends, who are a constant reminder to keep going and a constant path to lead my forward when I wasn't feeling as good. My advice to my greatest self would have been, be unapologetic to yourself. Don't limit yourself to the labels that your friends, peers, haters, or society may try to clip on you. Identify with yourself, with your likes, with your dislikes, and you'll find it so much more easier to be yourself and to go for what we really want to do. I would like to end by issuing a question to the people in this world to believe that what I've said is too far-fetched, too unreal, too idealistic to happen in their lives. The positive change is going to be made. So if you don't make that change, who will? Thank you.